What is up, my Division 2 peeps, and welcome to the Build Junkies channel. Today, we're going to have a short discussion on the future of the Division franchise. Now, I've seen a lot of content creators lately theorizing what is coming and the future of the franchise as a whole. And I thought that I could give my 2 cents on that as well. Now, I'm not a PvP person per se, so the excitement over Heartland is not so much there for me, although we do have quite a few clan members that are pretty stoked about it and are looking forward to seeing what Ubisoft can do with what they're planning on with that game. I am, for one, a little excited for the mobile version that's coming out. I think it's Resurgence. I think that could be a breath of fresh air, or it could be a giant mistake, depending on how good the developers are with putting the game together, the storyline, and then also support for the game, which we all know that the support for the Division games has always been hit or miss. However you look at it, it is what it is. But as a whole, the future of the Division, this has been a very profitable franchise for Ubisoft. Is it up there or higher than Assassin's Creed or other AAA title games? That's to be argued, but for the longevity and the amount of time that the game's been out, the player base that still sticks around, the content creators that still stick around and make fresh content for it, is it kind of speaks for itself. There's not a lot of games out there that still have that kind of player base, that kind of content creator, fresh media that comes out on the game. And for the developers, even though they were originally this last year looking at stopping the support for the game, the fact that the developers, even though it be at a very small team compared to what the original team was, the fact that they're still supporting the game is a testament to it as well. So I had a lot of people say, well, with all the new titles coming out, Star Wars, Avatar, and all the plans they have within the studio, they are not going to have time to work on the Division 3. And to a certain extent, that might be true. But to say that they're just going to give up on this franchise, I think there's just no basis behind that statement. This franchise has made them a lot of money. It still has a very, very loyal player base and following behind it. But you are right, ever since the pandemic, I should say you're right to a certain extent. Ever since the pandemic, studios have cut their costs, they've cut their staff. So to say that they have a full-blown staff that's going to be able to support a game like the Division 3, or whatever they would want to call it, right now, with everything that they've got on tap to come out, is probably a pretty tall order. So that aspect of it is probably true. So what do you think is the future of the Division? Well, in my opinion, that's one of the reasons why they're doing this free-to-play Heartland, and they're doing the mobile, and that is to give us that scratch for the itch that we're going to need to get through another couple years before we see a big AAA Division title come out. That is what I think is going to happen. I think especially once the Avatar or Star Wars game launches that Ubisoft is working on, then they're going to be able to devote the time and effort and money towards another Division title. Now, is that set in stone? No. I mean, could something happen, or another AAA game that they really want to work on come out and they decide to push Division again? Absolutely. But in a certain sense, I think we all kind of got spoiled with this. The support that they've had for this game has gone on for so long. And yes, I get it. There's going to be people like, well, what do you call support? It's, It's spotty at best. They can't fix glitches. They can't do this. They can't do that. Yes, but at least they're doing something. That's the way you have to look at it. It may not be what you want or in the time frame that you want, but they are doing something. And to see that kind of support for this longevity, it's kind of an awesome thing as far as video games go, and we definitely got spoiled on it. So now if you're looking at a new entry into the franchise, people are going to lose their mind if they stop support on this game and we go 2-3 years before you see another entry into the franchise. Now, that used to be the norm, folks. You used to get a game and you'd play that game and you'd beat that game and you'd do everything in that game you'd want to do. And it may be 1, 2, 3 years before you see another entry for that game. And it was never a problem back then. And people are kind of like, well, you know, that was back when video games were $55. Now they're $70. They were $65 last year. Well, that sucks, and I'm right there with you with that statement. But at the same time, inflation is inflation, folks. Everything's more expensive now. You can't buy a house now for $15,000 like you could, 70 years ago. It's not the way the world works. So you kind of have to deal with it. And then let's talk about paywalls, season passes, battle passes, whatever you want to call it. I am a proponent of those things as long as it doesn't give an edge to a player. Okay? If you want to play extra content and you want to get skins and stuff like that, then paying for that stuff is fine in my book, especially if you're getting extra content. It's when you pay to win that I have an issue with it. And you guys got to remember what that money's going to. Sure, some of it's going to line the fat cat's pockets that are on the board and own the companies. That's a given. But at the same time, those are also going to fund the continued support of the game. So as long as you're not giving one player an advantage over another by them buying a season pass or something along those lines, I am a full supporter of it. As long as I continue to get support and I continue to get new things in the game, I am fine with buying a season pass. It does not hurt me at all. Now, I get it. Not everyone financially can afford to do that every 6 to 8 months. You got to put food on the table for you and your kids and your family, or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, also, the way I look at it is this: a season pass costs what, $10, $10 US. How many Starbucks Frappuccinos is that in the course of 8 months? How many bags of Doritos is that in the course of 8 months? So even people that are struggling to have financial stability in today's times, there's really not an excuse you can't come up with $9.99 in 8 months. I'm sorry. Because if you can afford an Xbox and you can afford the Xbox Live Game Pass stuff, and you can afford internet, and you can afford a TV, basically you can afford to play video games is what I'm saying, then I would say if you really love the game that you're playing, that $9.99 is not going to make or break you. Now, that is my opinion. You can agree with it, disagree with it. That's absolutely fine. I just get really tired of people complaining about season passes and stuff like that, and the fact that we have to keep paying to play the game when you're getting stuff out of it. Look, folks, at the end of the day, it is a preference. Do I want to pay the season pass to get that extra stuff in the season progression and get that stuff now? Or do I want to wait till later down the road after the season ends and most of that stuff is added into general loot pool and try to pick it or acquire it at that point? And the other side of it is, do I want to continue to support the devs that are supporting me in the game that I like to play? It's that simple. So those are the questions you have to ask. Now, I am definitely curious on you guys' thoughts on this. Let us know in the comments below what you think, and let us know how, do you buy season passes? Do you not buy season passes? Do you feel that it's fair that season passes are there, or should everything just be free from day one? And why you think that? Let us know in the comments below. We really, truly want to hear what you guys think. And as always, please like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications on future videos. We do appreciate you stopping by our content and checking it out. All the links for our other social medias will be in the description for this video below. We hope you guys are having a safe and wonderful day, and we will see you all in the next video.